Today we're going to talk about something a bit serious, but super important. Are you working against your values as a leader? Being a leader is pretty tough. You have to make decisions, delegate tasks, and inspire your team. But what happens when that pressure causes you to compromise your core beliefs? And do you even know when this is happening? Let's explore some signs that might show a bit of a disconnect between your values and your leadership style. The first one is a feeling of discomfort in your stomach. We all get stressed at work, but there's a difference between healthy stress and a constant knot in your stomach. If you have a nagging feeling of unease about your decisions, it might be a sign that your values are being pushed aside. I know for me, I get a sense in my stomach when things just don't feel right, and I've learned to listen to that. I've had situations where I've been asked to present something to my teams or to do something, and I just know it's not going to land, or that I don't truly believe in the outcome that it will result in. In one situation in particular, I knew my team was going to be really upset about the decision that I needed to present to them. Now, let's face it, this is definitely going to happen in leadership, and it is part of the job. Making those unpopular calls, it's all part and parcel. However, in this case, I knew what that objection was going to be, and I actually agreed with it. So after sitting on it overnight and thinking about it, and knowing that that sense of discomfort that I had around it wasn't going to go away, I decided to write it out for myself. So I laid out what the objections would be and why, and really checked them against my own feelings of discomfort and unease around the decision, as well as laying out the reasons that the business had provided for needing to make that call. Then I listed some alternatives that I thought could give the business the same outcome without the negative consequences. After writing it out, I decided I really needed to present it to my manager, as even if it got pushed back, I knew that I needed to try, as that was part of my value stream, is that idea of being really open and honest. And following along with this direction when I didn't genuinely believe in it wasn't going to be a great outcome for me, and it was going to be hard for me to get the team to buy into it if they got any sense that I was not on board, which is also centered around my values around openness and collaboration. Fortunately, in my situation, when I presented this information to my manager, it was immediately taken on board and the approach was adapted, and it felt relatively easy, which made me realize that I probably hadn't been inputting or vocal enough in my own leadership team, as it really highlighted to me that collaboration was definitely there, and I just needed to speak up clearly with solutions. So it was actually a very good lesson for me on why it's really important to trust that voice inside yourself that's saying, this doesn't feel quite right, and follow that through. Now, this will not be the outcome every time that you get the sense that things are not sitting quite right with you. But for me, my values around collaboration and doing what is right means that I will make a conscious effort to speak up when I know that it doesn't feel right for me. It also means that if I do have to deliver a message to my team that I'm not super happy about, I can do it with the confidence knowing that, well, I did present an alternative and I have to be okay with the direction that we're going. It also means that I'm more confident with what I'm presenting because I've usually been given a good why, so I can speak to it with my team in alignment with the organisation. So listen to your gut. It's often trying to tell you something important. Ask yourself, would me outside of work be okay with this decision? As sometimes that can give you some guidance too. Another sign that there could be a disconnect between your values and your leadership is if you are sacrificing what really matters to you. Maybe you really value work-life balance, but you find yourself constantly putting in extra hours. Perhaps you believe in open communication, but you find yourself holding back from speaking up with your manager or your team. It could be that, like me, you value fairness and you're being put in a position which there is some favoritism or bias for or against one person. This can often show itself through operational decisions or opportunities around selecting one person or another. And you might notice that some people are leaning away from certain people and other people are leaning towards certain people without a rationale or a clear explanation as to why. This kind of behaviour really goes against my value around fairness, where I like to see opportunities being presented in a way that's equitable across the board, or through a process that is applied the same way for everybody. If you're stifling what really matters to you and you're not speaking up, it will take a toll on you as a leader. Leaders who compromise their values and what matters to them will often experience burnout. I have linked a video on the screen that can show you the signs of burnout and how to overcome this. Another sign of misalignment is team disengagement. Think about your team. Are they motivated and inspired, or are they dragging their feet? A leader who isn't aligned with their own values can create a toxic work environment where people feel unsupported and unseen. There are several reasons why leader misalignment with their core values can cause disengagement. The first one is a loss of trust and authenticity. When a leader's actions contradict their values, it creates a sense of hypocrisy and undermines trust. Team members may feel like the leader is being inauthentic or manipulative, which will obviously lead to a sense of disengagement. Another reason why this can cause team disengagement is it can create confusion and a feeling of being undervalued or unappreciated. If a leader's values don't prioritise collaboration, fairness, or employee well-being, team members can really feel undervalued and disrespected. The main thing is that leaders set the tone for the entire team. If a leader doesn't exhibit their values in their behaviours and their actions, it sends a message that these values aren't actually that important. This can lead to a bit of a negative ripple effect, where team members may follow suit and prioritise personal gain over upholding the team's values. In the long run, a disengaged team can also lead to high turnover. Employees who feel undervalued, unsupported, or confused will likely seek opportunities elsewhere. So if your own team lacks passion, it could be a reflection of your own leadership struggles. Another sign of misalignment is having difficulty making decisions. If you're feeling paralysed by indecisiveness, this could be a sign that you're caught between your own values and external pressure. When your values are clear, decisions become really easy. I have also done a video on why your values are so important as a leader and how they can make your decisions easier and clearer, which I've linked on the screen. So what do you do if you've recognised some of these signs? The first thing is not to panic. You can actually course correct. First, take some time for self-reflection. Do you know what your core values are? Now, for those of you who really want to ensure that your values and reasons for being in leadership really align and get a really clear blueprint for your next career step, make sure you check out the details in my link below, because for a very limited time, I am offering 10 people the opportunity to go through my pre-launch of my course, the Leadership Career Blueprint, for free. Yes, 10 people will get the opportunity to go through my course before it launches for free. All you need to do is sign up in the link that's below in the description, and then send me one page of why you really want to do the Leadership Career Blueprint and what your biggest struggle in leadership currently is, which could also be no more than 3 minutes on a video if you prefer, and then you're in the draw to win. Don't wait though, it is for a very limited time that I'm offering up the 10 free spots, and once they're full, you'll need to wait for it to launch live to gain access. Okay, so once you know your values, reevaluate how you're acting in your leadership and what might not be aligned. Second, have some honest and open conversations. Sometimes talking to somebody outside of your situation, like a mentor or a trusted colleague, can help you see things more clearly. Finally, don't be afraid to make changes. If your current role is a constant value mismatch, it might be time to consider a new opportunity that more aligns with your core values. And I've done a video linked on your screen that you can watch next about the 5 signs it might be time to move on from your current role. And don't forget to sign up for the Leadership Career Blueprint course to be in to secure one of those 10 free spots. If you are watching this once it's closed, the link for the live course will be linked in the description box too. And thanks very much for watching.